I know, you're seeing these art videos and you're thinking, I could never do that. But that is not true. No, it isn't. Well, for you it is true. You will never learn. But for everyone else, they can learn to draw as well. Just go to portraitartacademy.com. The link is below the video.
So still working on this beard. It's a little tricky. I'm gonna smudge this a little bit because I want that shadow there. But yeah, the rest of it kind of needs to be, here it's darker. Yeah, takes a lot of work, huh? Even if it's not 100% accurate, you'd still try to get the direction right of the hairs and try to make a few white hairs stand out. Maybe some darker area in here. Here there's like a darker area around there. And then yeah, it just starts to take shape. Make sure you get the direction right. Yeah, it is kind of tricky. Tricky to get it all perfect. It's a lot of work too. A lot of lines. But if you take your time, the results can pay off. So I want this to kind of contrast with this. This is a darker area, so I'm going to try to make that look that way. But I still want I'm going to smudge this a little bit because I want the everything underneath it to be grayish. And that's okay. Except for these white hairs over here, yeah. Then it starts getting trickier. I almost wonder if I could do that with a white pencil, but I doubt it. It usually works on gray paper better. Like, oh, you don't even know? Yeah, okay, sue me. No, don't sue me. People sue each other for the weirdest stuff. You said something and then you backed out of it. Oops. To err is human, but to forgive is divine. But never pay full price for a late pizza. Where's that from? Ninja Turtles. Okay. I'm paid to make you talk about Ninja Turtles. I know. Just trying to entertain you while I'm drawing all this stuff. And you look over my shoulder, over my hand. But yeah, see how I still kind of make these white areas stand out by lightly going over the rest. And then, so maybe this needs to be a little higher. Yeah. It's so much work. And this, also here it's a little darker. It's a little darker. And you just start seeing these little groups in there and stuff. This needs to come down like here. Like so. I followed a drawing course just to see what he would teach. And every time he said, like so, like so, like so. Didn't even know that was English. Like so. Yeah. So I'm giving this a nice little underlayer. because really nothing is white in there except for a few hairs. So it all needs to be gray underneath it. And then I'm just going to focus on the darker areas and go over them with either my HB pencil, trying to figure out how hard to press, how dark it should be, or the 3B pencil, which could, you could also use 4B or 5, or even 2B is kind of okay. And as long as it's dark, and then you can use those for all the darker areas. Okay. So over here it becomes a little blurrier. So maybe I'll color it in a bit more there. Yeah. This area is just really black and dark. It's a little darker at the top, but I'm just going to color it in. You can't really see the hairs here. It just kind of blurs into this too. There we go. And then here, it's really dark, which kind of blocks out this area, the light part right there. And here it's kind of dark, but not as dark as here. And no, this is not done yet. See? Still need to put more dark in there. So I'd say we're almost done with the beard. These parts need to come closer together a bit more. Almost like they're touching each other, but not. And then here, it all just needs to be a bit darker. So I'm just going to draw some hairs. If I squint my eyes, I want to see that contrast and those few hairs that stand out over here. But this, I don't want too much to stand out, so I'm going to blur it a bit more by just coloring it in. You can still see that it's hair, but this is more of just a big dark gray area, and that's it. Same thing with these areas, just a little blurrier. And then it even kind of blurs into the neck area. So here it's all a little lighter, but next to it, it's very dark. You can do that on this side too. This is all very dark. See? A lot of work, but not hard. Just takes some time. And I guess, now that I look at it, this is kind of, I want this to be a little grayish too. See? I want these things to stand out a bit, but not too much, because it's just all kind of a big blur. And there we go. 3B. All very black over here. Kind of moves into this. Yeah, and we're almost done with that. Maybe this is even lighter. Just trying to get this little area here. Now let's draw the hat and the hair and the neck. I'm going to take an HB pencil for the neck because it's all a bit darker. Here, I want it to be really dark. I guess I can use a 3B pencil for that. But not over here. It just kind of becomes lighter gradually. And then here, there's going to be some... See how I'm trying to move with the direction like that? Here you can go like this, but you can't go like this. You could, but it wouldn't be looking as good. So I'm trying to go in the right direction with all this. Because the neck is shaped like that. I don't want to make these lines too dark, but I want to give it a separate status from the neck. All of this is just a little darker. It's just kind of, you can blend that too with your finger by smudging it a bit. All of this just kind of blurs into it. The hair kind of blurs into this blurrier part of the neck. Although you can't see the difference still. Like this is where it's kind of where the beard ends. Because he didn't shave his neck either, so that's why. All of this needs to be at least light gray. And in some areas, darker gray. See, using a technique called rendering. Especially since it's all a little blurry, there's not that much detail. Alright, but this area is pretty light, so I'm using an 4H pencil for this. Because I don't want it to be white. It's not white, it's gray. So I just smudge it a bit, and then I get like this shadowy area. There we go. There we go. I don't like this line here. I'm just not going to draw it. That's the freedom that you have. As an artist, with photography, you'd have to Photoshop it out of there, huh? But I'm just like, nope, I'm not going to draw it. Okay, let's draw this color here. See, then some artists, they put so much detail into the face, and then they're just going to blur the rest. Like, whoa, very sloppy. And why do they do that? Sometimes laziness, and sometimes it's like, you know what? I don't want to waste my time on that, because actually, if I do it that way, it makes the details in the face stand out more. It's not like I can't do these things. It's just that I choose not to spend my time on it, and I'm trying to make everybody focus on this area. So yeah, sometimes that's what artists do. I'm not going to do it. I'm a little cautious with it, actually. I don't do it that often. Okay, your neck area is almost done. I'd say it should still be a little darker. And blurred a bit, because it's not lines, it's not a beard, it's just, it's a little patchy, but, and then this should definitely be really dark. Right there, this area kind of splits in two here. There we go. There we go. And I would say the neck area is as good as done. What do you think? Is it done?